Dear participants, I'm glad that this important conference can take place today in the symbolic town of Leipzig. As one of your keenest supporters from the beginning, I am sorry I cannot be with you today. As you maybe know, I have always been an outspoken defender of media freedom. Sadly, media freedom is more than ever in need of protection from difficult economic times, from monopolistic and pluralism issues, and from government attempts to censor both in Europe and elsewhere. Freedom of expression and information is one of the most basic rights of the EU as enshrined in Article 11 of the Charter of Fundamental Rights. Press freedom is a precondition for the preservation of all other political liberties. Recent examples are testimony to this. Whether it is LuxLeaks, the Panama Papers, or the car emissions scandal, EU citizens would not have been aware of them without an independent European press. That's why the European Parliament is highly committed to scrutinizing and improving legislation regarding all aspects of media freedom. The Commission has and will make proposals on the reform of copyright laws to adapt them to the digital age. The principle of fair use by internet platforms, rewarding the long hours and huge effort invested by authors and performers, is essential in my opinion. As a former bookseller, the protection of publishers' and authors' rights are high on my agenda. The European Parliament also called for a dedicated protection of whistleblowers who decide to cooperate with journalists and the media. We also support the fight against hate speech online. We know about the challenges brought by new media, which allow almost total freedom, but we are also fully aware that any legislation curtailing freedom of speech can be used in a distorted way by populists and extremists. Ladies and gentlemen, media freedom must be systematically taken on board in all bilateral relations and agreements which the EU makes with third countries. I personally deplore the serious backsliding over the past 2 years of freedom of expression in Turkey, which is now ranked 151st out of 180 countries in the latest World Press Freedom Index issued by Reporters Without Borders. Whilst advocating press freedom in our external actions, we must be intransigent in upholding the highest standards at home, always repudiating political control of the media sector, media monopolies, and all forms of intimidation against journalists. I read with care your report on press freedom following your conference in Wrocław last July. I can see you address those problems both from the content aspect and the format aspect. I would like to send to you all today an encouraging message of support. To all of you working to improve the freedom of the press, I wish you a fruitful day of exchanges in Leipzig today.